Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about both the stock market in general as well as my portfolio and how people are spending their stimulus checks. My total investment is now up to $12,000 in the portfolio, which is just crazy considering where I was a year ago. On the day I was down. Over the past week I'm up 11.33%, which is terrific. Over the past month up almost 18% or $3,800. Over the past 3 months now we can see it was really heating up, about 63% gains or $9,600. Over the past year now up 104.5%, $12,700, and all-time up 108% or just short of $13,000. As I mentioned earlier, total investment in the portfolio is now $12,000. I'm super pleased with where my portfolio is at and why I'm set up for future success. First, we're going to talk about the purchases that I made this past week with my $200 additional investment to get to that $12,000 point. First purchase I made this week was one more share of Walmart. I purchased that share at $140.13. That's now my third share of Walmart. It's been a very good stock for me. The second and last purchase was $50 more Bitcoin. The quantity there was 0.0013. My new position is 0.4905 Bitcoin, and the price there was $37,713.45. Very happy that I'm coming up on half a Bitcoin. For those new to the channel, these videos are about 5 weeks behind at this point, so I'm trying to provide a little bit of context and some new news sprinkled in with my portfolio. So for this week, we're going to talk about where people are spending their stimulus checks. It's in the news, and I think it's important to know where people are spending this money so that we can be better investors. So here we have an article from Yahoo Finance. Stimulus checks ignite spending in athletic footwear and apparel, according to Bank of America. As stimulus checks hit bank accounts, Americans are buying more sneakers and apparel, according to new data from Bank of America Global Research. Athletic footwear and apparel spending jumped significantly to plus 19.5% year over year for the week ending March 13th, versus 13.2% the week prior as stimulus payments began to hit consumer bank accounts beginning March 12th. According to Bank of America, 80% correlated with Foot Locker, comparable sales since April 2014, and 81% correlated with Nike North America revenue since August 2016. So here we can see people lining up outside the Foot Locker to get new shoes. It says solitary leisure spending also remained strong during the same period, with golf categories on the rise, including 40.3% year over year versus 30.9% for the week prior. Data also showed consumers bought more bikes, increasing 88% over year for the week, ending March 13th versus 74.5% the week prior. Campground spending also accelerated with 65% gains year over year over the week ending March 13th. The previous week, that was 41.4%. So the big point here is that people are spending their stimulus checks sort of discretionary spending. People are buying what they want to. So as an investor, it's important to understand that some of these retail companies, whether it's Foot Locker, Nike, really any outdoor brands, even brands like Walmart or Target, could be really good plays right now because people are spending their money in that direction. Unfortunately, this may not be the best way to spend money, and it's not what the stimulus checks were designed for. But as an investor, it's important to understand what's going on and what that means for the market. Real quick, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and drop a comment down below about what you think. First stock for today is going to be Penn National Gaming. It's now trading at $117.90, which is crazy. Over the past week, we can see it's up over 10%. If we zoom out to 3 months, it's up 103%. Over the past year, up 272, and 5 years now, up 740%, which is just crazy. My total return is now up 230%, makes up about 5% of my portfolio. Saw the average cost is down there at $35. The earnings have been all over the place. I've talked about this before. Q2 of 2020, casinos were shut down. Everything was just going nuts, so that hurt their earnings, but their earnings have since recovered over the subsequent quarters. Pretty high buy rating from analysts on Robinhood. I don't value that a ton, but I do think it's worth mentioning, and this is probably the best performer in my portfolio over the past couple months. Let me know what you think about Penn National Gaming. We can see the market cap is now $17 billion, which is just absurd. This has been an awesome stock. Microsoft down on the day over the past week, now up 2.5%. On the month, up over 11%. We zoom out to the year, we can see it's up 31%, and past 5 years now up 341%. Very good return for me here, up about 25%. The dividend yield is the big thing that could grow here. It's under 1%. The price to earnings ratio is a tad high, and the market cap is over $1 trillion. True blue chip stock, one of the biggest in the world. We can see a 4-star rating from Morningstar. The earnings are starting to grow exponentially now. That's largely due to their cloud infrastructure. I think there's a ton of room, both earnings-wise and dividends-wise. If nothing else, this is a stock to continue watching and to look out for. Next up, we have Agilent, a performer that has been awesome in my portfolio. I wish I would have bought more shares. We can see my total return is now up 50%, trading for $124 with an average cost of $82. Up a little bit on the week over the past month, up about 3%. So that growth is starting to slow. Over the past 3 months, up 12%. Past year, up 49%. And 5 years now, up 232%. The healthcare industry has been crazy. That being said, Agilent has outperformed pretty much everything. We see the price to earnings ratio is extremely high. Dividend yield is very low. That just means there's a ton of room to grow in that aspect. I will be purchasing more shares of Agilent here in the future. Problem is, it's just a little bit high for my weekly budget. As I mentioned earlier, I did purchase my 3rd share of Walmart this week. My average cost is now $128, which is a little bit higher than I'd like. On the week, it's pretty much flat. Past month down 2%, 3 months down about 0.5%. Over the past year now, up 24%, and 5 years up 117%. I talk about Walmart a ton because I think their stability is really something to really be happy about. Price to earnings ratio is 20, which is slightly below the average for the S&P 500. Their earnings have remained pretty consistent. They're trending slightly upwards, but the stability is the big reason that you're investing in Walmart. Whether the stock market's good or bad, they should be successful, and that is why I am continuing to purchase more shares. Charles Schwab has been a sneaky good performer in the portfolio, trading for $55.20 right now. We can see the market value of my 2 shares is $110.40, and my average cost is down at $43.35. Obviously, with this very good performance, I wish I would have purchased more shares. We can see his total return is now up 27%, or about $23.70. On the day, it was up over 3%. Over the past week, it was up 3.66%, or $1.95 per share. When we zoom out to the last month, we can see it's up nearly 5% after a cool down. Over the past 3 months, up 35%. Over the past year now, up 15%. 5-year pace up 117%, which is an excellent return from a stock that's not known for tremendous growth. The question here is going to be whether or not they can compete with Robinhood in the zero commission trading front. It's very competitive, and Robinhood obviously has sort of the first mover aspect going for them right now. Last up for today, just as always, we have Bitcoin, now trading at 37,500. We can see my total return is crazy, up 88%. My quantity is 0.4905, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Over the past week, Bitcoin is up 13.73%, which is just tremendous. Over the past month, it's up 23%. We zoom out to 3 months, it gets really crazy, up 165%, or over $23,000. Over the past year now, it's more than quadrupled, up 308.8%. In the past 5 years, almost a 10,000% return, up 99.48%. We can see that peak there at the end of 2017. We also had a peak in the summer of 2019, and it has not really stopped since then. Bitcoin has been on a rampant tear. This is by far the best holding in my portfolio, and I believe in Bitcoin in the long term. For those new to the channel, the plan is to continue buying Bitcoin until roughly the end of this December and selling when I think the price will be highest. That's it for this video. Thanks, and I'll be back next week.